has a different view of it. At Wilco2205, he says, Connor's try and the Salford one yesterday, the murder missile one, are proof that the ref on the field decision thing isn't working for video ref calls. You can't always 100% prove a call wrong, but common sense says they were both tries. Well, I firmly disagree. That I think both of them
were not tries.
Common sense, speed of like full speed, as you're watching it live, dictates that they weren't tries, I felt. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Wigan fan.
No, I'd have loved
Thursday night, I was definitely murder missiles, no try. This is better than last year where we had those fingers falling down the side of the balls and giving them as try decisions that I thought were crap. But I think, if anything, it justifies the system. The video referee system isn't there for frame by frame decisions like this. The video referee system is there for blatant mistakes. And what we've got away from is that idea of why it's there. And we're starting to think it's there to make everything 100% perfect. Well, that isn't even possible. With cameras and everything, it's not possible. It's there to rule out glaring errors. Now, if anyone can say, hand on heart, that glaringly that was obviously a try, put a liar in front of me, basically. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. And I don't want to knock Mark too much because thanks for getting in touch. And it's good to get the balance of views.
Of course it is. That's all it is. We're looking for opinions. So, he's got his and you've got yours. It ain't no thing.
Yeah. So thanks anyway, Mark. Mr. Jeff Jefferson, he said some poor refereeing decisions. Bentham seemed to give penalties for holding down when he felt like it. # no consistency.
So inconsistency though.
Either way, just same difference.
Just been a pedant for the sake of it now.
Paul Wilson, he said, honestly think the better side lost tonight. Big step up in quality needed by Wigan for next week based on that performance.
I don't think the better side lost. I think the side that you were more impressed by lost because we were more impressed by Huddersfield's showing, but Wigan were the better side.
Because we expected less from Huddersfield. And Wigan didn't really deliver. The problem, I think the way of looking at it is Wigan was so poor in the first half and Huddersfield seemed to have an answer, and Wigan, I felt like, we're never going to score. That people forget about the bit of the game where Wigan were on top. I think maybe. But Huddersfield, like you say, we were impressed by what they did. Stephen Belshaw said, good job Wigan signed a kicker in the off-season, because Matty Smith kicked 2 from the touchline.
He did well, didn't he?
Big difference maker. Tim Griffiths, he said, I was just about to say, Lockjaw, I've been quiet, but that pass in the try move was fantastic. Also, did Gelling spend the off-season in 1980s Navy?
There was something of the Joe Mangle about him, wasn't there?
His longer hair is something I'm struggling to get used to.
The thing I notice about him is he's like a more attractive version of Luis Suarez. That's what I saw in him.
Okay.
And by more attractive, I mean by degrees, because Luis Suarez is an ugly, ugly man. But I could just see him in kind of like.
And a vile racist, whereas I don't think Anthony Gelling is.
Yes,
he shits on tables.
Yes, he just shits where he wants, doesn't he? But you can see Anthony Gelling kind of rocking up in like a plaid shirt with the sleeves cut off.
You can see him
doing garden with, what was the fucking dog called? Bouncer.
You can see him doing absolutely anything at any point in time in his life.
I don't think he knows. He does not know what he's going to do next.
Tim Rigby.
He doesn't know his bedtime.
Tim Rigby at Newbridge_Wolf. That's a new one, so thanks for getting in touch. Tim, he said, missing the Tompkins, George Williams, Crosby, and more to come, hopefully.
You could do with him back from Salford, really, couldn't you?
Underlining the injury situation, I suppose. Tom Andrews at Tom_HKR said, Charnley just ballsed up my bet. # silly haircut, # little Willie. And Tyler Cass.
Has he got a little Willie?
We've talked about this before.
I've never seen his now. I haven't seen the picture.
Right, it's a thin dick.
Is it cold? It's a string bean.
It's like a dog's cock in a way.
Fair enough.
From that picture, I've never seen it in real life, and I'm sure he does well for himself.
He probably fluffs himself before he gets in the shower.
Yeah.
Just have a quick fluff.
Tyler Casfan says Huddersfield's patched up side were a bit unlucky. Thought Ellis could have kicked a second drop goal near the end rather than kick for the corner. Murphy very good at fullback. Wigan not looking at their best, but still won 2 from 2, and they can now look forward to next week.
Fair enough. Okay, so Saturday night rolled over, and I tuned in again with bated breath, looking forward to see 2 packs do battle as Catalans took on Hull FC down at Gilbert Brutus. But it was a bit of a blowout, really, in front of 10,234 fans. Hull FC came out 38 points to 10 on top, and it could have been a bit more had there been a bit better kicking going on as well. So, not what we were expecting. I was anticipating a close game that Catalan would come out on top of.
Yeah, I think two things really from the Catalan side of it before we talk wax lyrically about Hull FC like we should. Is they overplayed early doors, and that wasn't good.
Yeah,
because they didn't seem to be on the same page as each other. You had players looking to step one way, and the offload was coming to the other way. And things that last year were seamless, where you'd have Zebte run, get the offload away, Morgan Esker would be there, and almost definitely at the end of it there's a try.
I've got to say, I like Tony Gigo at fullback though.
I'm not sure.
I'm
not convinced. I think what you've got is a good player in the position where you had your most dynamic player before, and he lacks a bit of the dynamism, and he's actually getting a lot of opportunities to do stuff. He made a lot of meters from a lot of ball against Wigan, and it's the same this week.
I'm saying,
but the outcome off the back of that has been nothing. That's my problem. So he's having all this opportunity, and he's looking solid, and he's not making too many mistakes.
Yeah, then the team has to learn to play a different way around. I mean, he's not as quick as Escarade, he's not as dynamic. You're quite right, but what he does offer is the opportunity for someone to be off his shoulder and get the offload away and make things happen that way. So but the team has to play differently around.
It seems like they're not reading like I was saying. There was that overplaying that led to a lot of mistakes, and then the second part of it is as well is as soon as it looked like the game was running away from them, they turned into a team full of Gareth Hawks. Penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. They couldn't keep their heads together. I was surprised that no one maybe at some point someone might have been ready for a proper rollicking, maybe even a sin binning, because it was getting to that point of they were behaving in and out of harm's way. And I think they need to sort that out, Catalan, because they could have still come back into the game. Hull, for all their brilliance, didn't take advantage of all the chances they got, I don't think. And to win by 28 points seems like a wide margin, but really, with 15 minutes to go, it felt like Catalan were their own worst enemies at that point. I don't know. So let's talk about Hull, because they scored some great tries and
they did
long range efforts, short range efforts, from kicks, from passing manoeuvres.
They look like they've got it clicking. That's the thing. They've started the season with it working well, and it's happening. The forwards are getting over for tries. Gazelli's got a try. In fact, we've just literally seen it now. But Gazelli's got over for a try, which was great to see.
Feels like
but they were able to get out wide.
Super League back chat with the highlights on in the corner of the room. No one else can see that. great for radio chat there.
But absolutely. But no, look, Talano's had a good start to the season. Two of ours come in and settled well into the squad.
He was outstanding, I felt, in this game. A constant
good player. And I think once Mahe Fanua comes back in on that other side of the pitch at centre, he will also augment what they've got. And Jamie Shaw we know about as a talent. So they've all of a sudden, like I said at the start of the season, they've got this forward pack that's got some real brute and some real grit about it, and there's some very fluid, attractive back play going on as well. The thing I'll say about the Sky presentation of the game was that it was perhaps a touch unwise for them to build up the idea of Frank Pritchard coming off the bench to take on the Coal Train, since that's basically an ironic nickname down under now for Dave Taylor. And honestly, I thought I'll give him a chance. Let's watch him play. Let's see how he does. Let's just give the boy an opportunity to prove himself. He's at least 1.5 stone overweight, I would say, but you can throw that accusation at him. Just went missing. Absolutely went missing. When Catalan needed someone to be talismanic for them and to do some hard yards, he was fucking nowhere to be seen. And I found myself looking for Dave, searching him out whilst plays were going on. I'm looking at him, and he's knocking around in back play, and he's doing this and that. And at a period of time, he's only been on the pitch for 5-10 minutes, and he's blowing his hands on his head like that. And it just confirms what I feared about Dave Taylor for me, really. Hopefully he goes on to have a good season, and it's to the benefit of the Catalan Dragons. But I didn't really see it. On the flip side of that, one of my favourite players, really in the time that I've been watching Rugby League, Glenn Stewart, was probably one of the better players on that Catalan Dragons team, and he looks every inch the professional that's going to come in and...
You model yourself on him a little bit. Is that what we're saying?
I'm bald and I have a beard, and I'm every inch the professional. Yeah, absolutely. No, I just think he's a phenomenal player, and he seemed to have a good game in what was a poor Catalan side.
For the second week in a row, it basically had to make a shit ton of tackles and not been given opportunity to influence the game that much up the field, because everyone was dropping it every time they made a break. There was an offload, but
credit to him, because he's not the biggest forward on the field either by any stretch of the imagination.
No, but let's talk a bit more about Hull. I think the point where they really started to pull away was the Shaw try, where Talanoa just walked through the whole team from acting half, and Jamie Shaw followed it up, messed up with the baby situation, but hey, congratulations to him and his missus, and bold move. Being out of the country for both the birth of your son and Valentine's Day. That's a ballsy move.
Did they not go home that night?
Jamie Shaw. Well, whatever.
Yeah, they had a plane home that night.
Anyway, congratulations to him. Tuma Varvey, like I said, was involved in everything. The other thing about Hull that was really impressive is we forget about it a bit. Leon Price was sin binned.
Yes, he was. He did. He got put away, didn't he?
And they won
They
won that period of the game, and they were better for that, and really impressive attacking performance in particular. Yeah. Defensively, they've still got a few missed tackle issues to iron up, but when it gets to that last bit at the line, they're better than the Catalans were. Because Catalans,
to be fair, if you're averaging 40 points a week, you can afford the odd missed tackle.
Well, there you go, yeah. So, Hull FC dominating the stats, unsurprisingly. 400 metres plus more. A massive 11-4 in clean breaks suggests they could have actually scored even more than they did. Like last week, they didn't have much to do defending. 215 tackles to Catalan's 338. An 11-7 penalty count and a 12-10 error count, both going against the French side, tell a large part of the story from their perspective. They just were their own worst enemies. But Hull FC took full advantage. Well, took advantage. They could have took even more advantage. It's
further advantage.
Promising signs for Hull FC. Individually, we have Fatuli Talanoa, no surprise, 2 tries, couldn't quite get his hat-trick, despite trying. The video ref wanted to prevent that.
What price you'd get on Talanoa at the start of the season to be top try scorer come the end of the year?
Don't know, still probably get a decent odds now. 1 try assist, 8 tackle balls, 196 metres and an amazing 6 clean breaks. Carlos Tumavave had 2 try assists, 7 tackle balls, 130 metres and 2 clean breaks. Gareth Ellis had a try and a try assist, 105 metres. Jamie Shaw with a try, 108 metres and a newborn baby. Pat Richards was one of the people
That's not rhyming slang for anything, just to clear it up. He has had a kid, hasn't he?
Pat Richards got 2 tries for Catalan, both good finishes. Tony Gigo with 6 tackle balls, 137 metres and 2 clean breaks. Like I say, he made the metres, but what came off the back of it? There's no try assist there. There's no end product. Glenn Stewart with 40 tackles. Like you were saying how good he is, I think he's been forcing to do a lot of defending and not enough attacking. But there you go.
But he's a pro, that's what I'm saying. I really like Glenn Stewart. Alan Walker got in touch. He's one of our resident Dragons fans. The ref wants sticking up on a meat hook at the factory. Yeah, they did cut to Gauch just once, didn't they? And he didn't look particularly happy, didn't the butcher?
No, Alan, he does take things to heart though, doesn't he?
Do you know what? I credit to Alan, because as the game was progressing, in the back of my mind the words slaughterhouse visit kept replaying themselves, and that was like one of his hashtags at the back end of last year. So you've permeated my subconscious, Alan. Congratulations. Andy Barker got in touch. Exceptional performance from a Hull side that looks to be the standout team after round 2. Catalans' ill discipline again proved costly. Bride Davies got in touch. Typical Catalans, he says. Too many errors and penalties added to lack of ability to defend their try line. They look to be in real danger of bottom 4 unless they sort their defence. FC look like they'll beat most of the weaker sides, but I'm not convinced against the better ones yet. Richards' tries were a bit soft. Helen Hughes got in touch. Not often the commentators argue over who can compliment Hull FC the most. Fair play. John Dyson, he continues to get in touch with us. Thank you, John. Is this new Hull the real deal? Plenty of pace to burn and looking good so far. The French, on the other hand, look like there's lots of work needed. Rich Langley got in touch. Strong start to the season for FC. 1-17 stood up against Catalan, and once they got on top, unlike in round 1, they kept their foot down. Strength across the park, and Ellis makes the pack even better. Catalan's errors didn't help their cause, and the coal train turned up more like the pudding club. Hull will go into the cash game with a lot of confidence. And Scoots28 Mac, our favourite Twitter handle, got in touch and said it was a comprehensive win in France. Solid performance from 1-17. Pleased to see the intensity didn't drop off in the final 20 this time. So thank you for everyone who got in touch on that one. On to Sunday afternoon's games then. Castleford took on Wakefield in that battle of the 5 towns that we anticipate so much, but the battle never really materialised, Mark. 40 points to 6 in favour of the Ford.
Decent crowd, nearly 10,000 on.
As you'd expect, it was a good turnout.
But I mean, it's pretty much the same as the the game at France. I've watched the highlights, and there was some awful